Hello, everybody. It is April 8th. The sun is shining. It is still under 40 degrees, but we are moving on. Episode 98 of Three Things with Ian. On today's episode, we're talking snow globes, basketball, John Prine. Real interesting mixed bag for you today. The sun just went down. Oh, okay. All right, so our first story is about the NBA. Let's dive in. The NBA is as talented and skilled as it's ever been. So why all the negativity? So no serious person could possibly argue that the skill level of today's NBA players isn't vastly superior to those of even 10 years ago. More players can do more things with a basketball than ever before. They can dribble it better. People have better handling skills. More people pass it better. More people shoot it better. And from a greater distance. With the possible exception of Wilt Chamberlain, there's never been anyone in the history of the league with the skill and size of Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs' young superstar. So Victor hails from France. He is a very lanky, skinny, still putting on those muscles. I think he's like 7'3", 7'4". He can do it all, like I said. The old school 7-footers, the Shaquille O'Neals, the Patrick Ewings, the Hakeem Olajuwons, they couldn't do the things he's doing. So 75 plus years. So the NBA just celebrated, I think, last year, their 75th anniversary. And we've been blessed with the most athletic, efficient era of the game's history. And despite that, and the most democratic. In the last 6 years, we've had 6 different NBA champions, right? So there's more parity in the league. More teams can say that they're competitors or contenders. Why does it feel, though, as with everything in American life right now, we're perpetually arguing with each other when it comes to NBA fandom? There's a lot of negativity around the NBA, and I wanted to explore why that might be. Now, a lot of critique goes into the fact that players are spoiled, they're overpaid, they're too sensitive, load management, right? They want every other game off. But basically, when you say that, though, you are ignoring the recommendations of the team's very well-paid, hip-deep medical staffs that are pushing for load management so we can see these players for longer. This is a good thing overall, I think. Yes, it's tough when you shell out the money to see your NBA superstar not there. I myself went to an MLS game hoping to see Messi. He was not playing, injuries. Did I bemoan it? Was I disappointed? Yes, but I understood why, right? So why are the league's ratings down? I will explore that. Financially, the NBA has never done better. They're about to begin an 11-year, $76 billion media rights deal with ESPN, ABC, NBC, and Amazon. Doing exactly what they'd hoped to do. The new deal is triple the amount of money. Corporate America loves the NBA, so why don't we? It's interesting, right? So one of the bigger, though, I think I'm going to talk about 3 main points. The biggest point right now, and I saw this firsthand, is the avalanche of three-pointers, right? When I was in the nation's capital, I went to a Wizards game, and essentially a lot of the game is dribble, 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 shoot. So it's fast possessions, 1 or 2 passes. The defense isn't even set up at this point, right? We often bemoan the lack of defense, but with all the spacing on the floor and the quickness of the possessions, most defenses aren't even established yet. So Boston's averaging more than 48 three-point attempts per game this season, which would break the record of 45 attempts per game set by the Rockets in 2018, right? So the game is evolving towards what's most efficient, what's best, what's most successful. And the player's job is to follow the coach who's going to be figuring out what that looks like. So if shooting 53s gets you a championship, guess what, guys? They're going to shoot 53s, right? It's the natural progression, the evolution of the game. Until another formula comes along, it's just not going to happen. The game is more open and free. People aren't clogged, like similar to NHL, where the Devils in the mid 2000s clogged the neutral zone, made it really hard to skate. There was no freedom of movement, no expression. The NBA has opened up the court, so to speak, and so defenses that were dominant when scoring was as low as it's been in the 98 and 99 season, where they scored 92 points, right? Defenses were able to shove, hand check, clog the lanes. There wasn't that fluidity. There wasn't that quick motions and stuff like that. So after 2 decades of rule changes, scoring has soared. Average scoring has risen more than a dozen points in the last decade alone. Teams now can get 120, 125 points. And a lot of that is because with the speed of the possessions, you get more opportunities to score, right? If you're using 20 seconds of your 24-second shot clock consistently, you're going to have less possessions. So if you jack up a lot of quick threes, although it kind of stinks when you're in a cold slump, there's just more possessions, more opportunities for points, right? So this is kind of where we're at. We are seeing a little bit more post play. By post play, I mean the bigs are backing up with their backs to the hoop, right? So Jokic right now, he comes up, he passes a little bit, but then he does settle himself in the point, and he's able to play with his back to the basket. This was the way that the bigs played for decades. And we're kind of moving a little bit more than that, but the game is looking a little bit different. The corner three is the most efficient shot in basketball. All right, the worst shot is the long two-pointer. The most efficient shot is the shortest three, which is your corner pocket, right? Unfortunately, even the best three-point shooters miss a lot of threes. It's a very long shot. Not everybody is Klay Thompson or not Seth Curry, but Stephen Curry, Steph Curry. So basically, good teams know how to play the game. Ball movement, attack, get to the free throw line, make threes. That's the recipe. Take the right shot. If it opens up quickly, take it quickly, right? And so basically, that's the modern NBA. It's a lot of threes. It's not a lack of defense per se. It's that it's so quick defense isn't yet set and established. So that's a little bit of my 2 cents on the NBA. Having been to a game, it is different than the college game. It is just faster. Players are more... All the players can shoot the ball better, so people are hesitant to foul because when you're fouling a good three-point shooter, you're giving them 2 free points essentially every possession. So anyway, what do you guys think about the modern NBA? Are you a fan? Am I just talking into the ethos? I'm not sure. Okay, story number 2. John Prine. Fortunately, today marks the 5th anniversary of the beloved songwriter, master lyric writer. He passed away due to complications from COVID-19. John Prine is a well-known musician. His maybe most apt corollary would be a Bob Dylan type of writer, folksy, really poetic, lyrical, on the surface simple songs, but their simplicity and emotional depth still resonates. So he is considered by many of the industry's best to be one of the greatest song craftsmen of his time. His lyrics could be heartbreaking and hilarious both at the same time. I'm going to give you some examples of some interesting lyrics because I just think on this a sad anniversary of his passing. I never saw him in live. I don't do a lot of live music. I don't really even like music, but I really like John Prine. I was introduced to him by family members a while back, and he's one of my go-to. When I do feel in the mood to put on music, he's one of the ones I go to. So I'm going to give you 5 or 6 or 7. Some I might sing too poorly. Just bear with me. You know that old trees just grow stronger and old rivers grow wilder every day. Old people just grow lonesome, waiting for someone to say, hello in there, hello. Captures the quiet loneliness of aging with incredible empathy. There's a hole in Daddy's arms where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. That's one of his most famous songs. That's Sam Stone. Obviously, it's a stark and devastating, honest portrayal of addiction. And then something, he was known for humorous, quirky observations. One of his most famous songs, Spanish Pipe Dream, has a reoccurring melody that goes like this. Blow up your TV, throw away your paper, go to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try to find Jesus on your own. So a whimsical call for a simpler life. I think that one is important. Let's see, I'm going to give you a few more. I don't know the actual melody to the song, but this one is his funny take on the afterlife. I'm going to smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm going to kiss that pretty girl in the tilt-a-whirl. Yeah, this old man is a-going to town. Right? I like that. 2 more. And this is called In Spite of Ourselves. This is a little charming duet. What I like about this song is that it's incredibly awkward when you kind of hear it, but it's incredibly sweet. In spite of ourselves, we're end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spite our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. Towards the end of his career, I believe he had throat cancer. And so the way that he sang was very different. And this is from Angel from Montgomery. I believe I might capture the melody once I get going here. There's flies in the kitchen. I can't hear them. I can hear them there buzzing, and I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning and come home in the evening and have nothing to say? So the quiet desperation of sort of a mundane existence. These are just a few examples of ones that just remarkable gift for capturing the human emotion condition in all its messy, beautiful, contradictory glory. So I think his songs resonate with me a lot, and I just kind of wanted to share that with you. Okay, my third topic. This has just been a whirlwind. I was at a gift shop, and I looked at a snow globe, and I said to myself, what's going on here? Where do snow globes come from? So really briefly, I'm going to give you a history of snow globes, because why not? Also, they're called water globes, snowstorms, or snow domes. Never heard anyone use any of those other terms. So you know what a snow globe is? It's a transparent glass sphere enclosing a miniaturized scene of some sort, model of a town, neighborhood, landscape, or figure. The water serves as the medium through which the snow, the particulates fall, right? Obviously, to activate it, you turn it upside down or shake it, and then the white particulates, looks like it's snowing, snow globe. You guys get that. Sometimes they play a song. So snow globes go back to at least 1878, as seen in the Paris Exposition. In the U.S. Commissioner's report on that, they wrote paperweights of hollow balls filled with water containing a man with an umbrella. These balls also contain a white powder, which, when the paperweight is turned upside down, falls in imitation of a snowstorm. They captured it perfectly. So an Austrian surgical instrument maker named Erwin Percy, P-E-R-Z-Y, he popularized the snow globes generally. He has the patent for it. When you Wikipedia snow globes, his name comes up. He was trying to make something for reflection purposes for surgery, kind of like a magnifying glass type of deal, but he ended up basically creating a product that reminded him of a snowfall when light hit it. So he's like, this is cool. I'm going to build a snow globe. Him and his brother end up opening up a shop in Vienna based on the demand for these things. And the production still exists today. It's a family business. So these are the really high-end snow globes. In the United States, the first snow globe patent was filed in 1927 by Joseph Garanja of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So a lot of time elapsed. And then in the 1940s, snow globes were used for advertising. In the 40s and 50s, they became very synonymous with religious gifts. Roman Catholic children would get snow globes with different religious motifs and figures as gifts. In the 50s, obviously, we fell in love with plastic, and some of the more fragile glass was transitioned over to plastic. Obviously, there's mass-produced versions you can get for $2 that are made in Hong Kong and China. And then, like I said, you can still go to the Vienna, Austria shop and get super exquisite, bespoke 200, 300 euro snow globes as well. Christmas scenes, Disney characters, popular icons, animals, it runs the entire gamut. So anyway, that's kind of the basics of snow globes. Obviously, like nowadays, you have the modern take where you have those inflatable snow globes in the lawns for different holidays like Christmas and Halloween, the ones that are, they have a blower and a base and things get moved around and shook around. So that's kind of like the newest iteration of snow globes, kind of. Would be large decorations for the yard. Anyway, I feel like I need a sip of water. I talked a lot. So I talked about the modern NBA and maybe why, despite it's being portrayed as a negative downturn, I think there's a lot of positive things. Players are more athletic and more gifted than ever before. Maybe that doesn't translate to making the most watchable TV product, but I think it does speak to the fact that this is the best version of basketball we've yet seen to date. Feel free to disagree. I'm sure a lot will. John Prine, master storyteller. Do yourself a favor if you do nothing else. Listen to a few of his songs. I think you will find them absolutely enchanting and charming. And then snow globes. I was just curious about what the heck a snow globe is, where it came from. And so I looked it up and I told you. Anyway, this has been 3 Things with Ian, and I will let you go. Have a great rest of your day. Be above the line and be good to yourself and others. Take care.